Part 2. The Nature of Sin, explained using Doctor Who villains. The Master. Starting out with the iconic frenemy/arch nemesis of our hero. The Master is portrayed as the polar opposite of the Doctor, much in the same way that Moriarty is the inverse of Sherlock Holmes. Killmonger is the flip side of T'Challa. This lines up with defining sin as being the opposite of love. Here are some lines from the Catechism of the Catholic Church. Sin is thus love of oneself even to contempt of God. In this proud self-exaltation, sin is diametrically opposed to the obedience of Jesus, which achieves our salvation. Sin sets itself against God's love for us and turns our hearts away from it. The Master also represents the version of ourselves that is twisted by sin and takes pleasure in the perversity of a sinful life of doing evil. Take a look at the particular temptations you faced and the particular sins you committed at different stages in your life. You might notice that some have come and gone. Now imagine what kind of person you would have become if you had maintained the sinful ways at those different stages. It's entirely possible those results aren't exactly the same. Kinda sounds like how the Master has a different face with unique quirks throughout the show. It's worth mentioning that the Master has a complicated relationship with the Doctor. They are enemies, yes, but there's a sort of friendship and deep understanding there.
I need you to know we're not so different. I need my friend back.
As uncomfortable as those sinful versions you just imagined make you, you have a history with that person, and you know exactly who they are, because they are you, albeit an unrepentant version who chose to separate themselves from the love of God. Using Missy as an example, she starts out just as malevolent as any of the other previous incarnations. Then in Season 10, Missy distinctly shows a little bit of softness. Well, reaching even the hardest of hearts is not impossible for God. Last point with this villain, please comment below with your favorite incarnation of the Master and why. We want to hear from you. The Vashta Narada. The piranhas of the air are the creation of Stephen Moffat, and dang were they terrifying. Despite only appearing in 2 episodes, no list of great Doctor Who villains would be complete without them. The Vashta Narada in the Whoniverse are mostly harmless, because these microscopic creatures live in tiny clusters. However, it's best not to cross their path. They are not in every shadow, but they could be in any shadow, as the Doctor says. Metaphorically, we see this as avoid the near occasion of sin, or as the Doctor puts it,
Daleks, same for the Eye Stalk. Sontarans, back of the neck. Vashta Narada. Run. Just run.
True, not every situation you will be in will actually lead you to committing a sin. But for the sake of your soul, please be careful. Example, having trouble with alcohol? Avoid going to bars, not too difficult nowadays, what with COVID, and identify that which leads you to the emotional states that cause you to consume too much, and so you can prevent yourself from grabbing a drink next time it happens. Lastly, with the Vashta Narada,
not everyone comes back out of the dark.
Not everyone comes out of the dark. If that isn't a metaphor for those who do not repent, we don't know what is. Confession and a contrite heart is how you get out of the dark, and into the light of God's love. The Daleks. It just keeps coming back. No matter what happens, temptation and sin will always be in your life. Even if you never commit another sin and never feel tempted again in your life, you will always see the effects of it on others and on the world around you, just as the Doctor sees the effects the Daleks have on the world. There you have it. What other Doctor Who villains can inform us about the nature of sin? Comment below with what you're thinking. And if you want to see more great videos that fuse your Catholic faith and your geekiness, then subscribe to Random Catholic Thoughts Geek. Don't forget to like, share, and suggest a topic. May the Lord be with you.